7 individuals suspected to be involved in oil bunkering in Imo State have been arrested by the State Command of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps. Parading the suspects at the command headquarters in Owerri, the state capital, the commandant of the NSCDC, Stephen Law, said the suspects were arrested at an odd hour of the night while conveying their products to an undisclosed destination with 5 different private vehicles. He described the action as an economic sabotage and warned all involved to desist from this act.
The 7 suspected oil thieves were paraded before journalists at the command headquarters in Owerri. They were caught with over 10,000 liters of refined crude oil concealed in large polythene bags. The suspects had devised a way to disguise their stolen products to beat security checks.
They were taking them to an unknown destination when our men on patrol intercepted them and got them arrested. Before now, trucks and tankers are being used to transport products like this. But having known that the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps normally suspect and can check any truck or tank, they have decided now to go on private vehicles like this. All these vehicles are heavily loaded with this product, and that is the new strategy.
One of the suspects was hired as a driver for the operation. Another one, who was disguised as a security operative, said he was introduced to the business by a friend when he needed financial assistance to pay hospital bills.
Since there's no money on me to settle the hospital, the person that paid me, that paid the hospital bill, I now called 2 of my boys, this one and the other one, to assist me since I cannot drive. Let us go and buy oil, diesel. We went and buy it in Port Harcourt, in one filling station inside Port Harcourt, in one local filling station like that. Actually, the filling station has no name and they did not give us any receipt. We did not go to any pipeline. We didn't break pipeline. I don't even know, as I'm talking to you, I don't even know where pipeline is. I only bought it in a cheaper rate, at the rate of 10,000 naira per drum. And when I bring it, as I was coming to Owerri, yesterday night, to sell it, when you bring it here in Owerri, you sell it 15,000. So as I was coming on the road, me and my 2 boys, so the men of the civil defense contravened me.
We will not relent in making sure that we protect life and property. We will not relent to protect particularly the oil facilities, which for now form the basis for, the major source of economy to this country.
Other items recovered from the suspects include an AK-47 rifle with rounds of ammunition and a military uniform. The men are being detained to allow for further investigations before they are charged to court for prosecution.
The Senate Committee on Aviation has announced plans to investigate the renovation work at the terminal building of the Kaduna Airport. The committee complained that work there has been slow. The chairman of the Senate Committee on Aviation, Senator Hope Uzodimma, made the announcement in Kaduna after inspecting the airport.
It is a tale of sadness and disappointment as the Senate Committee on Aviation arrives at the Kaduna Airport for oversight function. Disappointed by the slow pace of work on the terminal of the Kaduna Airport, the committee mandates officials of the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, the consultants and contractors of the project to appear before the committee for explanation. At the Nigeria College of Aviation Technology, the committee also inspects a number of ongoing and completed projects and assures the college authority of effective oversight.
We go and look at the areas where things are not working, so we can make things work. And areas that need to be supported, we will also support.
The situation is, however, different at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja, where the oversight visits began. The Minister of State for Aviation and the Director General of the Nigeria Meteorological Agency received members of the committee and guided them through the airport. With the inspection over, The chairman of the Senate Committee on Aviation, he noticed some buildings begging for renovation at the premises of the Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority. He expressed satisfaction with the general level of work.
We're starting from NIMET where we are. The management of NIMET, they've done very well, absolutely very well, in the sense that monies are appropriated to various projects. We've seen those projects that are in place, and they're all functioning and impacting on the job.
The Minister of State for Aviation used the occasion of the visit to reiterate the commitment of the federal government to establish a national carrier.
The national carrier is not something that you say happen and it happens. Or it's not pregnancy that you say for sure by the end of 9 months it will come out. It has to go through process, and I told you it's going to be private sector driven. We are now in the process of appointing a transaction advisor that will drive the process.
With the discoveries made during the tour of Abuja and Kaduna airports, the Senate Committee reaffirms its commitment to visit other airports in the country to ensure that Nigerian airports are well maintained for effective service delivery.
It's now time for sports news with Ayotunde Balogun.
Yes, indeed. Golden Eaglets head coach Manu Garba has picked 60 players ahead of the qualifier of the African Under-17 Championship. This followed the 3-week open screening exercise at the FIFA Goal Project in Abuja, which was attended by over 3,000 players. Coach Garba explained that the 60 players will undergo the mandatory magnetic resonance imaging scan to determine if they all fall within the age of 17 allowed for the team. Cristiano Ronaldo has become Portugal's most capped player after featuring and even missing a penalty in the goalless draw against Austria at the ongoing Euro 2016 Championship. The 31-year-old earned his 128th cap in the match, surpassing the previous record of 127 appearances he jointly held with Luis Figo. Ronaldo made his debut as a second-half substitute in a 1-0 victory over Kazakhstan in August 2003. He's been Portugal's permanent skipper since 2008 and is also his nation's record goal scorer with 58 strikes. The International Olympic Committee IOC will not overturn the decision to ban Russia's track and field team from the Rio 2016 Olympics. The IWF on Friday unanimously upheld its ban on Russian athletes due to state-sponsored doping, and in a statement released today, the IOC says it welcomes and supports and fully respects the ruling. IOC Vice President John Cortez reiterates that the World Athletics Body has control over which track and field athletes are eligible to compete at international tournaments. Next generation star Alexander Zverev has registered the biggest win of his young career yet by toppling 8-time champion Roger Federer at the Jerry Weber Open. The 19-year-old won the semi-final clash 7-6, 5-7, 6-3 in 2 hours and 6 minutes to book his spot in Sunday's final against another German, Florian Mayer. He's the youngest player to beat Federer since Rafa Nadal did so on his 19th birthday in the 2005 Roland Garros semis. Zverev is also the first teenager to upset a top 5 opponent since Andy Murray fell to then 18-year-old Borna Coric in Dubai last year. Nico Rosberg has claimed pole position for the European Grand Prix after teammate Lewis Hamilton crashed out in an action-packed qualifying session. After mistakes at the end of the Q2 and on his first flying lap in Q3, Hamilton hit the wall at turn 10 to end his session. Red Bull's Daniel Ricciardo will line up alongside Rosberg on the front row with Sebastian Vettel third in his Ferrari. The pair set identical lap times, but Ricciardo will be given the superior grid slot for crossing the line first. Sports news. The news at 10 continues shortly.
It's been a difficult time for the family members of the late Joe Cox, who visited a scene where the late Labour MP was stabbed and shot to death. As for Thomas Meyer, the man who is being charged with her murder, He has appeared at Westminster Magistrates Court and been remanded in custody.
Thomas Mayer, the man charged with the murder of lawmaker Joe Cox, gave his name as Death to Traitors, Freedom for Britain when he appeared in court following an attack that has shocked Britain. Cox, a 41-year-old member of the opposition Labour Party who supported staying in the EU, was shot and stabbed on Thursday in the street in her electoral district in northern England. West Yorkshire Police Temporary Chief Constable D. Collins explained that investigations are underway as to the motive of the attack that killed Cox.
We are keeping an open mind, and I do not wish to add to the speculation, as we need to ensure that we conduct a professional investigation and do not compromise the need to bring the person responsible to justice. Based on the information available at this time, this appears to be an isolated but targeted attack upon Joe. There is also no indication at this stage that anyone else was involved in the attack. However, we will be investigating how the suspect came to be in possession of an unlawfully held firearm.
As regards Cox's killer's background, the Southern Poverty Law Center, a U.S. civil rights group based in Alabama, says it has obtained records showing Thomas Mayer had links with a neo-Nazi organization National Alliance dating back to 1999.
I think it was just, quite maybe extraordinary that we happen to have literally the receipts of his purchases from, the most prominent neo-Nazi party or group in this country.
Mayer has been charged with murder, causing grievous bodily harm, and possession of a firearm and another offensive weapon. Cox was preparing to hold a regular session to give advice to her constituents when she was killed in the town of Bristol, Yorkshire, where Mayer lives. The killing has shocked the nation, uniting politicians and leading to the suspension of hostilities in what had become increasingly bitter campaigning ahead of the June 23 referendum on Britain's EU membership. The murder has sparked debate in Britain, which has strict gun controls, about the safety of the lawmakers, the heightened tempo of political confrontation, and whether it would affect the outcome of the EU vote.
And the main news again. The Nigerian Air Force has begun the second phase of its onslaught against terrorists in the northeast region of the country in fresh efforts to completely flush out the Boko Haram militants. Under the new scheme, 6 fighter jets have been deployed in the exercise tagged Operation Gaman Aiki, targeted at the area seen as a major stronghold of the militant group. And members of the All Progressives Congress in Edo State have today been elected the party's flag bearer for the governorship election in September. And that's it on the news at 10:04 tonight. Well, we now continue with the live broadcast of the All Progressives Congress primary in Edo State, which is to select a candidate ahead of the September 10 governorship elections. Right about now, counting is in progress. I'm Harriet Agbini. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good night.